So what is poaching? Boiling?
Well, I mean, it's typically water, but you could
Oh,
probably
no, it's typically water, right?
Yeah, you could probably use lemon, like some type of
Could I use stock?
probably.
Could I use milk? Could I use tequila?
Did you use Gatorade?
If it boils.
Can I use beer?
Yeah.
Can I use Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, but you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, you know, for an egg, no. Okay, but poaching, okay, is a moist heat cooking method. Okay, we barely want the bubbles to be breaking the surface. It's a you know, not poach. Poach. P-O-A-C-H. Okay? Now, when we're poaching eggs, okay, one of the most important things, two absolutely critical things, okay? First one, you need to have acidulated water, okay? Meaning we have to have an acid in our water, in our liquid, okay? Ideally, I would prefer to use wine, but white wine still doesn't have enough acid in it. It's got nice flavor, but it doesn't have quite enough acid. So I'm going to add an additional acid if I'm using just white wine, okay? I can poach in stock. I can poach in any kind of liquid. Okay. For our intents and purposes today, I'm going to be using white vinegar, okay? So when I add the vinegar to it, I have to very carefully measure.
Good measure.
You like that? All right. So I want to smell. I want the water to smell very vinegary. Okay. Now, what the vinegar is going to do is it's going to help coagulate that egg yolk. I mean egg white. Sorry. So it doesn't go all over the place. Okay. We want that egg white to encase the yolk. Okay. We also have to be careful that the water is barely bubbling, okay? We don't want a rapid boil, kind of like when we're doing the tomato composite. How do we want our water there? We want a rapid rolling boil, right? When we're poaching, we barely want the bubbles to break the surface, okay? Want it to be very, very gentle. Just think about the egg, okay? We don't want that rapid boil knocking that raw egg all around the water, right? Okay, so we're gonna bring that up to 10. Okay, meantime, I'm gonna make quick Hollandaise sauce. Now, this Hollandaise sauce is my way of doing it. It's not the textbook way. I'm gonna have Chef G demo the textbook way, because in all honesty, that's how the majority of a lot of chefs out in the industry make a Hollandaise sauce. Okay, you're gonna find a few odd chefs, right, who are gonna make it directly on the flame. Okay, I don't want you making yours directly on the flame. You're going to be making yours over a double boiler. I'm gonna show you my way. Then I'm also going to show you the correct way. Okay? Now, I've said this to you guys over and over and over, okay? That as you become more proficient, as you become more experienced, you're going to learn little efficiencies that are going to make your job, your tasks a little bit easier, right? Okay? But I don't want you doing that until when? Till you know how to do it absolutely correct from the very beginning, okay? Learn how to do it properly, okay? And be able to be proficient at doing it properly. And then as you're working, as you become more experienced, as you do more and more, then I want you to change and adapt, okay? But learn how to do it correctly first, okay? All right. So I said the two most important things when we're poaching an egg, okay, is to have the acidulated water, and the water does not come to a rolling boil. Okay, we want the bubbles to barely break the surface. Okay? Now again, making a hollandaise sauce, my way. You look at the egg yolks first. They're very dense, they're very thick. They're whole egg yolks, right? I don't have a lot of surface area. I've got a lot of density, okay? What I want to do for my hollandaise sauce is I want to decrease the density and increase the surface area. I want to increase the surface area where the contact from the bowl and the heat, okay? If I do that, then I'm going to cook it quicker because I don't want to scramble the egg yolks. Okay? One of the biggest challenges to people learning how to make a hollandaise is that they scramble the eggs. Okay? So I would typically add white wine. I am not a wino. Okay, you guys. I talk about adding white wine, but that's kind of like our standard in the industry. Okay, we use it in place of water because what does water taste like? What does wine taste like? You don't know yet, okay, right?
Right.
You don't know.
No.
Right.
What is wine? I never heard of
Right,
wine.
so I'm going to decrease the density and increase the surface area, okay? And I'm going to make a hollandaise sauce very, very quickly. I'm going to aerate my eggs. And I'm going to cook them to the ribbon stage. That is the ribbon stage. No, that is the ribbon stage. Okay? It's the ribbon stage because when I pick it up, it stays. That line stays. Okay?
The ribbon?
Yeah, like a ribbon. Okay? So now my egg yolks are ready for my butter. And it said that you have to be very, very careful to add your butter slowly. In a slow, steady, consistent stream. Otherwise, you're going to break your sauce. Oh, I did that wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't add it in a slow, steady stream. I didn't. Hollandaise done.
Oh, what?
What? Now watch me cry tomorrow.
No. Okay. So now, you see what I mean, guys? I said that, you know, as you become more experienced, as you become more proficient, you learn how to do things in a more efficient and effective manner. I only know how to do that because I know how to do it correctly and properly from the very beginning, right? Through my experience, my years, okay? I've learned, almost, right? But I've learned that, okay, it took me a long time to get my head wrapped around, wait a minute, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. And so I start breaking it down. And what did I say we had to do to the egg yolks? We had to decrease the what? The density and increase the what? Right? Because I got to make this quick. If I cook the egg yolks too long, what happens? Scrambled. I don't want scrambled, right? Mr. G, you need me?
Yeah, the architecture.
They are? Okay. So you know what I mean, guys? So it took me quite a while to get my head wrapped around that concept. I knew what I was doing, I just didn't know why I was doing it. Okay? So I figured it out. It was a happy accident. Okay? Now, yeah, because I had to make a hollandaise sauce. That was 2 yolks. I had to make a 100 yolk hollandaise by hand 3 times a day during service. Okay? Now, well, remember the other day how chaotic it was? Okay? Now increase that by 7. Okay? That's what I was working with, right? And wow, and you got to stop to make hollandaise? Oh man, right? So the chef insisted we make it by hand. He insisted that we do it in a place. Okay? Because a lot of people will use a mixer. They'll use a blender. They'll use a powder. Okay? But that is a hollandaise sauce. That is a real, genuine, live hollandaise sauce. Okay? Now, I'm not going to expect you guys to make it that easily and that quickly. You will screw it up. Okay? It's not a question of if you will. Okay? You will. You absolutely will screw this up. Okay? But you have to learn from screwing it up. Okay? I can't tell you what it smells like. You have to. I use this at the very beginning of the semester. I said you have to use all of your senses when you're cooking, right? It's going to smell a certain way when you have enough acid in it and when it's cooked enough, okay? It's going to look a certain way. It's going to feel and move in the bowl a certain way when it's cooked enough. But I can't tell you that because you have to experience it. You have to know what it smells like, okay? Because I looked at your risottos and I looked at your rice pilafs, and before I tasted them, I already knew. Why? Because
Chef.
Because I'm chef.
Yeah.
Because I've done it more times than you, and I've screwed it up more times than you. Remember, I've made the same mistakes that you guys made. Okay? I've done it a lot more than you have. You're just starting to screw things up. I've been screwing them up for years. Okay? But I've learned how to not screw up everything. Okay? And I've learned how to get a little better at not screwing up most things. Right? You have to learn that. Okay? And in order to learn that, you have to go through the frustrations, the tears, the agony, the anxiety of screwing it up before you get proficient. Okay? Now, my water. We're going to poach an egg real quick. Then I'm going to jet up front, shake some babies and kiss some hands.
Oh, worst nightmare.
Or the other way, right? Kiss hands and shake babies? No, whatever. So I'm going to reduce my heat on the water. Okay? Now, this is a really important part of poaching an egg. What I want you to do is I want you to stir the water. Counterclockwise, clockwise, I don't care. Okay? But what I want you to do is I want you to kind of create a little bit of a whirlpool effect in that water. Okay? You can smell that water, you can smell the vinegar in it. Now, you're not trying to get to the journey to the center of the earth. Okay? I just want that water moving in a circular motion. You have your cracked egg. I want you to come close to the water and pour it in. Now you see how the egg's moving in there? Okay? What's going on is the acid is immediately coagulating the egg white. Okay? And it's moving. So the egg yolk is what shape? Round, right? Okay, so I have that water moving so the egg white coagulates in a circular motion. Okay, it encases that egg yolk. If I didn't have any acid in the water, the egg white would still coagulate, but it'd be floating all over the surface. Okay?